Hiya, welcome to LSB Feasters radio channel where we keep great radio from the past alive. Today we're going to Philadelphia and 105.3 WDAS-FM. In 1971, 105.3 WDAS changed from its progressive rock format over to a progressive R&B format. Station played a mix of album R&B cuts, funk, and soul. They called the format Black Rock. And one of the jocks from the progressive rock days actually stayed with the station and became its music director and host of its Oldies show. I'm talking about Harvey Holiday. Harvey spent about 18 years with WDAS before moving across town to Oldies 102 for a while, and then spent the next 29 years playing oldies at 98 WOGL in Philadelphia. He retired back in 2018. Also on this tape, you will hear Holiday with his friend and guest, Joey Reynolds. Joey is a legendary jock who spent, time on the air on just about every radio station known to man. Just to name a couple, WKBW, WIBG, WFIL, WNBC, WQAM, but I don't want to make this video too long. Joey's just hanging out with Harvey and having a good time. Now, I got to tell you up front, the quality of this rare audio is not great. It's less than perfect, but I thought it was worth sharing anyway to hear these two legends of radio on the air together. Got to thank my friend Alan Tolz up in Boston for this audio. Thank you, Alan. All right, if you like what you hear, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel too if you like, and hit that bell so you'll be notified whenever we post anything new. All right, let's go back to 1974 with Harvey Holiday and Joey Reynolds on 105.3 WDAS-FM Philadelphia.
You stay tuned to this channel, which is FM WDAS. This is the right one on your radio dial, the right one. And we have here a record that is demographically incorrect for the total tune-in audience we have now as we know them. In other words, the people who have called us is the only audience we know we have, because we have not had time enough to receive postcards. I've never been in this station that long. And we have not had time to get response from the general management. They usually lock us in, throw a banana, and leave for the weekend. And we have not been able to get response from the engineers because the union was folded. There are only two unions. There's before and after. Actually, there's a third, SAG, which ought to be renamed LAC, because of the employment they haven't provided for people. Incidentally, the Weight Watchers is going to have the SAG union represent them. They're going to hold their meetings once a year in Washington at the Rotunda. Now, we're going to play a record here by the Miracles. It's a miracle because, actually, the truth of the matter is that the lead singer of the Miracles is Smokey Robinson. Bill Robinson Jr. is his real name, and he has a wife, and pulled her out of the group as soon as the group became a success because he found out the other guys were playing with her. And, he didn't want that. He decided that he'd bring his own musicians. And he pulled his wife out. He made millions of dollars with Berry Gordy, went on his own to own a piece of Motown, moved it out to California with Berry Gordy before the Mafia took over. And they came along with a new policy of making stars out of people who couldn't sing. And you remember one they recorded during the supermarket crisis when Ralph Nader's Raiders first invaded ShopRite. They had Chaparral. And then there's this one here, which is one of his, Come Around Here, I'm the One You Need, which was written by Bill Robinson along with Holland and Holland. And Lamont Holland Lamont Dozier is with the group as a writer with Holland, Dozier, and Holland. Now, replacing... Pardon me? They did break up, though. Yes. They were going steady, and it didn't look good. Same as Elton John and Daniel, same business. And besides that, one of the Hollands was a dyke. But every Holland should have a dyke. That's historically correct. Here's the Miracles, and I'm the One You Love. It's an oldie on Harvey Holiday's thing. If you can pick up an oldie on Harvey Holiday's thing, you're lucky to get it in stereo, because no one else does. Everybody's getting worried because they think that we're saying things on the radio that shouldn't be said. Now, what happens is this, is that in America, there has been a general, in the last few years, ladies and gentlemen, this is WDAS-FM, which is the first progressive radio station in underground history, and started years ago, and High Lit fell off his throne at WIBG, and he's our friend. I just say that because we're taking a poke at High, and he did a show here for so many years, and he was very, very, very well liked, and Harvey just poked me, he says, please, cool with the High Lit stuff. He still owes me money. I'll never get that out of him this way. So, no, High was the first guy to do this bit. He came here and whispered for a couple of years. And, how long was High here? About 2 years, huh? Something like that? Huh? Sorry? Well, High was here how long? High lived? How long was High Lit here for at WDAS?
About 4 or 5 years.
Oh, I was just going to tell everybody that in the last couple of years there's been a tendency in America to, on radio broadcasts, use everyday language, except in Philly, because they've gone the boss music route, which is to play more music more often, play about 15, 20 records in a row, and no personality, virtually. And Philadelphia is the first personality town in the whole country, and they're not doing any of it now. It's just kind of amazing.
I like to check with my engineer.
Bob Harvey's doing some personality now. He's talking to his engineer over the air. This is not personality.
Everything all right so far?
It's just sloppy is what it is.
Everything all right so far? He hasn't said anything bad, has he?
Bob's running tapes.
Well, anything is dirty. It depends how your mind works.
He's running the tapes from 4 years ago.
I got to do a commercial. Look, I can get in more trouble for not doing a commercial than I can for anything you might say.
That's what makes this possible. People think this is a profit-making organization.
I just want to have fun with this commercial because a friend of mine owns Jenkintown Dodge at 900 Old York Road. You have a Dodge. You want to tell people about your Dodge?
Oh, I have a Dodge, all right. I have a Dodge Lemon. No, I drive a Dodge Drafter. And
I'm glad you squeezed that in.
It's right up front here. It's going to be bombed before the evening is over. I'm glad I'm here on tape.
Tell them which car is yours.
And, no, the Charger that I drive, and it is a Dodge Charger. I drive it because we have a deal with the radio station that I manage. I give them radio time and they give me the Dodge to drive for a while. And at first I took it because that was the deal. But now the more I look at it, the more I like it. It looks like a beautiful, foxy lady from the side when you look at the Dodge Charger. And the more you see it, the better it looks.
And don't forget the new and used car department. I used to talk good without stuttering. The new and used car department. Can you help me with these words? The new and used car department is open from 9 to 10 Monday through Saturday. And my friend Jeffrey Dixon owns the place.
You're down in your bad self, baby. The Wolfman is here in WDAS.
Don't forget, if you buy a new car, you mention my name, you get $50 off. And if you buy a used car, you mention my name, you get $100 off. You mention Joey's name, they add $100 to the price.
First week is a prize in Philadelphia. Second prize, 2 weeks in Philadelphia.
That's good. I hope so. Why don't you go home with your wife? Second foot, I'll go home with your wife. Outside of the improvements, you'll never know the difference.
And then a girl from Philadelphia. Why can't I meet a girl from normal parents?
And it's 900 Old York Road, Jenkintown, PA. Would you mention the name of the place? They would appreciate it because they like you. Jenkintown Dodge.
Philadelphia.
Oh. Joe, would you mention help me with the commercial?
Jenkintown Dodge, where you
900 Old York Road.
You can buy a Charger, and it ain't a pig.
I want to do a commercial for my albums, and then we're up to date.
The way people listen to radio, they'll say, and he was talking about dykes and pigs. That's the way it goes. People will only tell you what they hear, what they think they heard. Now, what do you want, Jim Brady's shoes?
No, I want you to mention my albums, which you can buy at the lobby of the station.
Wait, I got to log it. Because you got to log these things.
Government
wants log. It says Holiday Oldies.
Well, that's a log.
There's 2 holidays this weekend. There's you and July 4th.
That's true.
Right. Now, the Holiday Oldies you'll be able to buy on a super album buy because this is Harvey's favorites, and he's passing them on to you. Because Harvey has taken a long time to assemble his favorite recordings, his favorite oldies, because he wanted to, as is always the case, you are a die-hard Jerry Blavat fan. If you dig the Geeter, you dig the Geeter. If you like that Ron Diamond trip, you love the Ron Diamond trip, you're a die-hard fan. If you're into Holiday, then you're into Holiday and his music. And a man in his music is Holiday and his oldies. Holiday's oldies are available. You can buy them right now. They're available at most stores, especially Corvettes, I see. Hundreds of savings that you've always dreamed of. That's not on your album. 4 rolls for $1.
By mail by sending a check to Holiday Oldies, WDAS-FM, Philadelphia, PA.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, Holiday Oldies are available right now. The pizza man is here and he wants some money. We ordered some hog mouse Parmesan. And they're just bringing it by us. How much do you want? $8 for pizza? $8? What do you get, a Harvey Holiday oldie album with it? How much is your album selling for?
Well, my first one is $5. It has my picture on it. The second one without the picture is $6.
I'll trade you 2 of those for one.
$8 for a pizza?
Trade you 2 of your albums for 1 High Lit. Is High listening tonight? Why didn't he come by here?
Well, Butterball's supposed to come by, and Jimmy Bishop, but they probably don't want to. They want to be on the Titanic.
Jimmy Bishop, is he still around?
Yes.
Jimmy and Louise.
Speaks very highly of you.
I haven't seen. She's an astrology freak,
Yes, I know that.
She's
I show her every day.
She read my beads about 4 years ago. Told me, she says, I see something in your future you ain't never going to see out. And I haven't in 4 years. She was right.
She'll be in that show tomorrow, 10 o'clock.
Louise Bishop works here on FM?
Yes.
She does?
Every day.
This is Louise Bishop. Louise Bishop. You're jiving me. Louise Bishop don't do this show. Louise Bishop does this show.
See you tomorrow, Joe.
So, now Louise Bishop is one of my favorite people. She took my hand, and I wish she'd stop by because she can probably do my cancer sign horoscope, my chart. That's what it is. I'm not into that anymore. I lost my cusp over Cahuenga, which is a street in Los Angeles, and I got out of that whole astrological thing. But my favorite joke is about a fortune teller. A guy goes into a fortune teller, and there's a sign outside. It says, 2 questions, $25. So the guy pushes the curtain aside from the tent. He sits down across from the Swami with a crystal ball in front of her, and she looks very mysteriously at him, and he says, 2 questions, $25. Isn't that a lot of money? And she says, yes. Second question. You don't like that one. That's my favorite joke. dispense with the formalities and plain oldie. This is one of Holiday's oldies that ain't on the album, which you can buy now without the picture. Save $1. If you got it. Are you big Blue Rod? Cool. Oh, yeah. All right, I like that thing. That's a good record. That's nice. Who cares that I like it? We're being ultra free-form tonight because I'm intentionally into this. The audience doesn't hear radio the way radio professionals hear it because they listen for smoothness in music, for cues, or what we call uninterrupted music is a segue. It's spelled S-E-G-U-E. And we go from one record to the other unceremoniously, uninterrupted. And that's a segue. Oftentimes, you will hear a very smooth transition. That is called good production. We don't have that on this station, on this show. Harvey is known for his music. He's known for his very glib approach, and now he's known for his insane friends. And I'm one of them. I'm very proud to be a friend of yours. I have been a fan of yours for a long time remotely because I never heard you on the air, but I knew I was supposed to like you. And now that I have heard you on the air, it's under adverse conditions because I'm hearing you after the heat of driving from Lakewood, New Jersey on the holiday weekend, pardon the pun. And I'm favoring the right speaker now, folks. I mean, those of you who are really following this show, move over. I know you're lying in front of the left making love, but you'll have to go to the right side because I've got to go over and take care of this audience. You're just going to hear the lull of my voice on the other side. So, folks, I was saying, as I ignore the left side in stereo, those of you who are in your cars and you have your balance imbalanced, you may now balance your sets. WDAS-FM will balance your sets for you now. This is dead center right now. If you hear me out of your right channel, equally as bright as your left channel, and most people don't hear anything anyway, like program directors, they audition music by, well, we won't go into that tonight. But those of you who are listening to radio with your bass button, you have an awful lot of bass on the set, and it gives me a lot of bottom. And that's one thing I don't need is more bottom. So I've hit the bottom more times than Judy Garland. I made more comebacks. All right, who do I have here on the radio? I have a gal. She sounds like a gal anyway. Or it sounds like a gal. Let me push that down. Does this get on the air like that? Hiya, hiya. No, it doesn't get on the air that way. All right, let me try this. Technically, we are not perfect tonight, folks. Try that. All right, try this. Hiya, hiya.
Hi.
Yes, who's this?
Michelle.
Michelle, where are you from?
Norwood.
From Norwood, New Jersey?
No, Pennsylvania.
I see. Well, that's good. We're glad to talk to somebody from Pennsylvania. And I'm very happy to be in Philadelphia tonight. How do you feel about it?
I'm glad you're there. You're talking a lot.
So what?
That's okay, though.
I mean, what's wrong with rapping?
Well...
My name is Joey Reynolds. Joey Reynolds rap. Get it? Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, but I don't know. Let me see a minute. Did you say you work at a radio station in New Jersey now?
I manage a station in New Jersey right now, and I'm on the air on that station. I guess you could say I work in it, yeah, but I didn't want to mislead you into thinking that I was a star disc jockey or off on a trip like that. That's not correct.
Oh.
You have to excuse me.
Is it an FM station?
No, it's an AM station.
Oh. Are you into this kind of music, though?
Actually, I'm on the station because we're trying to destroy AM and get on with it. So I'm working on this AM station in New Jersey. We figured we'd start with a state that means nothing, like Jersey. You know, it's only there to fill between New York and Philly. There has to be something. They couldn't segue, which I explained earlier on the program.
They were thinking of buying it and sinking it.
They were thinking of what?
Buying New Jersey and sinking it so the seashore would be right in Philadelphia.
Well, Jersey is very nice if you are into tomatoes. And I take it you're not, Michelle, because you are of the female gender. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. And what do you do for a living, Michelle?
A housewife.
You don't do a living, then. I mean, you don't work.
Holiday, let me talk to him. Let me talk to Mr. Chuck. Joey.
Chuck Holiday.
Joey, I'm glad to talk to you tonight.
Hi, Chuck. How are you?
But
Wait, we have a
holiday, and I think if you sit back and relax, you're going to enjoy it.
We don't have very much time left, especially in this conversation, because you sound a little pushy.
Pushy what?
Chuck, are you there?
Chuck, I'm sitting back listening, relaxing, listening to him. He doesn't have to sit back and listen to me.
7 to 12.
Oh, all right. Chuck?
We should sit back and listen.
Chuck, are you there? Chuck?
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Where are you from?
Philadelphia.
You're from Philadelphia. Where do you work, Chuck?
Listening to Holiday on Sunday, and he's going to get down, so sit back and relax. I think you'll enjoy it.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
Okay.
All right, you tell Chuck I said,
All right.
Okay, bye now. It's very interesting that this is a station where people will call you and keep you on the phone for 5 minutes to tell you talk too much. I said, you have the joke. Go ahead. You make it.
So you hit a new Jewish radio station.
Now, what is it?
1500 on your dial. But for you?
What for you, 1480?
1498.
Yeah, right.
Oh, hey, you speak up, Joey, for the speaking show for FCC.
You're taping it for what, FCC?
FCC hearing.
There's only 3 guys left. FCC. They're supposed to have 7, and 1 guy's on vacation, and the other 3 can't make a decision. You know, that's true.
That's bad.
Yeah, well, that's the only reason why I'm here.
Hey, Joe.
They'll be back tomorrow, though. What?
I heard you were ugly, too, man.
Who told you that? reason I go to the movies with you is for the popcorn. We're not going to do this material.
Hey, Joe?
We're down to the B stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Those who just joined us.
Hey, Joe?
Yes.
I always thought you were the greatest disc jockey in the world. We're going to get out of the Nixon, so what do I know?
Oh, he's an impeach of a guy.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay.
I can't believe it.
I got Mom Bell on the top card.
Oh, you know, they all want to go on. Everybody. Not one of you better call me tonight and say I'm talking too much. Or my jokes, or I'm not funny, or I'm jive. You believe it? We're getting over this? This is an oldie show? Are you kidding? They're all going to Robert Orban's books. He's the guy who wrote material since 1938 for Bob Hope. He's out. Bob Hope is out. New comics now, like Ronaldo Guevara. He's a new comic. The Eyewitness News makes fun of the weather. And so does that other, they don't get that here. They don't have Eyewitness News on television here in Philadelphia.
Channel 3.
No, you don't have the same as we do in New York, and all those people doing that stuff. All right, it's 10:27. WDAS-FM and Harvey is on the air. I'm tired of calling him Holiday. And this is from the Joey Reynolds Raps album. We initially called the album Watergate, Wounded Knee, and Young. That'll show you how long ago we started the album. And that no longer is funny. It wasn't funny then, but it was funnier. And we were going to release the album a year ago. But by the time I finished the album, it got dated. And so this is one of the things that remains fresh from the album. And there are several cuts. I'm not here to promote my record album, but if you don't buy it, I'll never come back again. Now, I would like to play this on Harvey Holiday Show for the first time in Philadelphia radio history from the new Joey Reynolds Raps album. And this is the Ma Bell takeoff for the telephone company. We press this button here to get it started? Huh? Are they able to buy this on cartridge? Now, they can buy my cartridges. We're going to put it up to auction tonight. All right, for the Disc Jockey Retarded Association. $100 bid, and we'll give you our original copy, which we have here on tape. It's 10:28 on DAS from the Joey Reynolds Raps album. As I introduce myself, and I don't work. You got to push this up. I knew it wasn't going to work. Ma Bell, you're swell. Gee, Ma Bell, but you are swell. You are swell. My Ma Bell. Gee, Ma Bell, you're swell. Ma Bell, you're swell. Gee, but you're swell.
Operator?
Long distance information.
For what city, sir?
Give me Memphis, Tennessee.
Sounds like the song. Hold on. Did you know you can dial directory direct, sir?
Long distance information?
Uh-huh.
Give me Memphis, Tennessee.
Hold on, I'll connect you.
Would you help me find a party that tried to get in touch with me?
What is the number you want to call?
She couldn't leave her number, but I know that who placed the call. My uncle took the message and he placed it on the wall.
Is this a residence or is it a business?
Help me information, get in touch with my Marie.
Marie who? This is the telephone company in Memphis, and I'll have to have more information than just the name Marie in order to give you a telephone number.
She's the only one that phoned me here from Memphis, Tennessee.
I'll know the last name. And the first name. Marie is the last name. I'm asking, do you have her address?
Her home is on the south side, high on a ridge, just a half mile from the Mississippi Bridge.
Sir, we checked about the name only. We have no way to check about the house on the ridge. Mr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Are you on the line? I was asking you.
Yes.
What would I do in a case like this?
I haven't even been away. Operator Mary Wells. Holiday. Joey's taking a break, eating pizza. Keep eating. Don't talk when you eat. It's very important. I want to do some commercials, and we'll take some more calls and play some more records, maybe.
I said
And the Village Mall.
They don't want to let that line go.
I hope so.
There's another line ringing. I think it's a hotline.
Probably will be.
It's your boss. Do you still have one, or is this autonomous, the situation you have here?
Keep talking.
There's a line ringing in the studio. The reason I know that is because the light goes on. In radio, light goes on instead of the proverbial which you get at home from Ma Bell. Ma Bell is the phone store.
This is Rooter. You want to know if Elton John is stumped up. That's funny. Thanks a lot. Call again.
I'm a fan. I'm a Rooter.
That's funny. Since you get here, we get 20 million people, comedians are calling me up. People used to call for requests. You played a record. Now I got people calling up with jokes. All of a sudden, everybody's a comedian.
Well, you know what? I have a serious side, too, and there's a serious cut on my album, which I'd like you to play. And this is going to sound like a big hype for the album. It's only because we're into the thing. And I think that it would save us a lot of time if I told the audience that I have been in radio, a disc jockey for 12, 13 years. And then I became a producer, and I had a couple of hit records. One really big record called She's Not There, which sold a few copies. And another one that looks good called Green-Eyed Lady by John Phillips. It's sketchy, though, and I'm not even going to ask you to play it tonight. And
I wasn't planning it.
Have you heard it?
Yes.
All right. Well, then I won't ask you to play it, because a man and his music should not be separated by a pearl between swines. Isn't that how it goes? Call me Eddie Singer. I think I got the cliche mixed up. Do not cast your pearl before swines is what I was saying. And also, I have a cut from my comedy album, which is called Joey Reynolds Raps. It's not available. It's not on the market, so this is not a commercial. You can't buy it anywhere. It's not bought by any record company. But I've been working on the album for 12 years. One of the cuts you just heard is Ma Bell, and there's a serious cut, which I'd like Harvey to play, if he can, on your equipment, because I brought it on my equipment. And I don't know if your FM equipment can pick up the stuff that I recorded or not. You don't know.
Our equipment's flexible.
You know, this is a poem.
Can I ask you a question, Mr.?
Yes, sure.
I think you may have mentioned this once on the radio, and it's really true that a great movie is around and lives forever. A great book, is always around, or a record. And you've done some incredible shows. Are they gone forever, or do you have them on tape?
I don't keep tapes of my show.
That's true, though. A great radio show is gone,
I have...
FIL has a whole bunch of your tapes, if you'd like to get them.
Well, so do their lawyers, but I have a great deal of respect for age, mostly bottled. You want to know the truth? I don't keep tapes of my show because I'm not into nostalgia. I thought we established that when I first walked in the door here tonight. I don't say that. I don't own anything. I don't own a thing in the world. I own the clothes that I wear, and look at what I'm wearing. Just jockey shorts. That's all I own. No, I have just the clothing in the world. I own nothing else, and I come here with my album. I spent all my money on producing.
You want to set it up? You want to set it up again?
Yeah, why don't we start that again?
Remember when I used to be good before you got it? I used to be good, wasn't I? I used to be funny. I never stuttered before. I used to be sharp.
I'm not the type of guy to do 3 hops in a night. And not by any stretch of the imagination. As an airline pilot, as a disc jockey, even as a guy, I just can't do 3 hops a night. 1 is plenty. And I've never made any money in record hops. The Lord knows, so does the Internal Revenue. And I've never been involved in anything. I've never been honest with payola. I didn't ever get into that stuff. I mean, I've been clean all my life. I never got involved with the gambling, and people never could point a finger at me. Even Dick Lee, I never screwed him out of any money. When he was in Belmar, when he had the 2 clubs going, and I used to get $1,500 at the door that I didn't report. But I never even told Dick. But I wasn't stealing, because the kids would have paid twice as much as they were paying to see me. I just had my own door set up, that's all. I mean, and I got the parking lot attendant. I don't think I did anything wrong, do you, Harvey? I mean, I was very good. Every time I got $1,000 for a record I played, I put it on the log. And Mr. Buckley didn't mind when I put it on the log, even though he owned that station down the street. I put it down. It says, plug Buchanan Brothers record. $1,000. I got cash, no checks. Nobody takes checks. I wouldn't take any minor charge cards, man.
So tell us about your album.
Well, the album is going to be out, and I'm not. It's
Well, I will be. Don't worry.
All right. This is a coming out party for Harvey Holiday.
Is this serious? Is this serious?
It's a serious guy. This is from the album, and this is Love is Like a Frog, which is, I do my Rod McEwen takeoff on this thing.
Here we go. Trying to tell me, you know?
Yeah, he has a T-shirt on that's got nothing on it, man.
Good. You want to wear?
What's he, Italian? Construction shirt or something?
You want to?
This guy, he looks like an Ethiopian, though. He's a very dark Italian. I bet you spend all your time at the beach, man. You don't work. Neither do I. Don't worry about it. There's this station. Nothing works here.
You want to take some calls?
There's a guy who's very intriguing. You know, we do what is known as screening calls. We take calls before. You know, I want to throw in a plug if I can.
Sure, go ahead.
We have a radio station in New Jersey, and I want to mention this because the guys there are very inspired by Philadelphia, and they love Philadelphia because it's a major city. And we're in Lakewood, New Jersey with our little experimental radio station, and I want to say hi to the guys who work on the station because they put together something I'm going to play for you, Harvey. There's a guy named Don Coviella who's from WKBW in Buffalo. He works with us in Lakewood, and he's a morning guy, and he's a tremendous producer. He's able to organize and assemble things beautifully. And he did a job with this Righteous Brothers record based on an idea of another jock we have named World Famous. There, I got the two plugs in. Two very, very good guys, and they're on a station we call 11-7. In New Jersey, when you come to the shore, especially if you come to Seaside or Brielle or Manasquan, anything above Atlantic City in the Highlands, anything beneath the Highlands and above Atlantic City, Asbury Park on down, you'll be able to pick up 11-7 AM radio.
You want to save us both a lot of aggravation? I want to mention George Benson.
Oh, George Benson is a very fabulous, colorful character. He's also known as Zappo the Clown. He's probably listening to this tonight. Well, we fired him. He's now known as Zippo the Clown. But he quits in the middle of a show, and he takes his license off the wall. You got to have a third-class ticket, is what they call it. See, the government, disc jockeys have to take a test to show they can talk, and they have to sign their name at the bottom of the paper, say they're not communists. And so what happens is you have a license. You get a third-class restricted radio telephone operator's ticket. And, well, here they have first-class tickets because they got one guy here in charge of the station. He's also the manager, sells time, and he's the engineer on duty. Bob, what's his name? Bear. Bob Bear. And Bob is here. He's got a first-class license, but he's gone to school for all this for weeks. But George Benson is a disc jockey, a talent with a third-class ticket. And George Benson, in the middle of a show, at will, quit. Walks off the job, says goodbye. I have to call his mother at home, and I usually call her on the air. And I say, Mrs. Benson, yeah, George, yeah. I'll send George in. I'm sorry, he did it again, huh? Yeah, he did it again. All right, I'll send him in with a note. Okay. I have to write to the union? No, we're not union. Do you want a union there? No, thank you, Mrs. Benson. All right, I'll send George in. Listen, now, should he bring a lunch, or are you going to feed him when he comes in this week? And I said, well, Mrs. Benson, look, I'd rather you send him in for the day instead of for the week. I'm a little tired of him staying at my place. Well, all right, Joey. Listen, you mind if he brings a color TV and the stereo and the sewing machine and stays overnight? Well, you know George is there for a week. She wraps his lunch in a map, sends him to Lakewood. So George is one of those mental paraplegics who comes to visit us, and every once in a while he decides to quit. But he's worked here in Philly at WIBG on the all-night show. The A.P. Bakers made an 8-foot sandwich, a grinder, or a hoagie, or a submarine, depending on what part of the country you're from. That's what they call those sandwiches. And in Shrewsbury, they call them sandwiches. So he takes this 8-foot piece of dough that's baked with tons of cold cuts in it, and lots of lettuce and all kinds of calorie-free foods. And he devours this thing, eats most of it during one night. And I wake up the next day, go to work, walk to the radio station, go into the kitchen to get some milk out of the refrigerator to go with my coffee, and I find half a grinder in there, 4 feet long. And I wonder, wow, this is really big. And they said, that's not the whole thing. George ate the other half. George also got fired from WFIL for oversleeping. And he was on his way to work, and he decided he couldn't make it in, so he never called in or anything. He just turned around and went home. And, his all-time great success, he finally made FIL. He's ready to go to FIL AM, man. He's got the big job. George Benson has made FIL. And he oversleeps. But he doesn't even call in to tell him